Bhavantu. Please join me. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. One more time. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Brooke and I am recording from my home. This is the Goddess Room. This is a really special space where we pray, where we meditate, we make music, we have healing sessions and sacred ceremony. And this is the first time I am recording a yoga class from here, so I'm excited to share with you all this practice, which is truly a gift. This is a gift from my heart to your heart. Like many of you out there, I am currently out of work. I haven't taught a yoga class in a week now, and so I know there's a lot of struggling financially going on out there. So this is an act of service, karma yoga for all of you. However, for those of you who are abundant, for those of you who are still working or just really appreciative of this practice and enjoy it, I am open to receiving donations. At the end of the video, there will be a couple of links. Feel free, any amount is truly appreciated, but there is no obligation at all. This practice is also an invitation just to tune out the external world and to tune into yourself. To take the time to move and to breathe and to create space, especially right now when we are feeling a lot of intense energy, we're feeling the chaos, we're feeling the uncertainty, we're feeling the fear, maybe the anger and the confusion, and all of this will build up. So it's really important to move the body, to move some of that energy. And it's just an invitation to come back to yourself, to connect with your body, to connect with your breath, to connect with your heart, and to feel the expansiveness, to feel the innate wellness and peace that's always available to us, but sometimes it just needs to be tapped into and found, right? Any practices like yoga, dancing, singing, chanting, meditating, any of these practices are an opportunity to come back to stillness, to come back to the present moment. And right now, more than anything, we need that space of stillness to connect with and to come back to. I watched my son today go out and play in the rain. He's 15 years old and he just wanted to go out and play in the rain. And I thought, wow, what a beautiful practice of just being present with what is. And because it's a rainy day, if you're in Charlotte, and I think it's going to be rainy for a few days, you might not be able to just get outside and enjoy the outdoors. So it's a perfect opportunity to stay inside and to move and breathe on your mat. So this will be a mixed, slow flow, but for all levels are included, and it should be accessible for almost all levels. I am a big fan of yoga props, so grab your blocks, your bolster, your strap, anything that you might have to feel supported. And if you don't have traditional yoga props, you can make do with things around the house. If you don't have blocks, you can use some thick books. They work great. If you don't have a yoga strap, you can use a necktie or a dog leash or even a belt. And then for bolsters, of course, you can use pillows, you can use a couch cushion. And if you don't have any of those things or don't feel like finding them, you'll be just fine as well. So I hope you enjoy the practice today, and we'll begin in Balasana, child's pose. So for child's pose, bring your big toes together, knees nice and wide apart. Allow the hips to soften back towards the heels, extend the arms overhead, and let your forehead, your third eye space, rest onto the mat. Start to connect with your Ujjayi breath, finding an inhale and an exhale through the nose while constricting at the base of the throat. Allowing the breath to become audible. Listen to the sound of the breath and let that sound help to quiet the mind. Let that sound help you to stay really present here in this space. And then staying in your child's pose, walk your hands over to the right side of the mat, creating a little bit more space in your left side body. Let your head be heavy. And direct your breath into the left rib cage, the left side lung. And then move through center, switching to the left side of the mat, gently stretching through your right side body. Maintaining full breaths in and full breaths out. And then make your way back through the center of the mat, maybe stretching your fingertips just a little further forward. And then slowly rise up to a modified plank pose. So walk your hands a little more forward if you need so that the shoulders are above the wrists. You don't want to be in table pose where the hips are stacked above the knees, but you want to be in a diagonal plank pose, just as if you were up in plank, but with your knees grounded. Again, the fingers are spread really wide. Draw the navel in towards your spine. Take one more inhale. Then just as slowly as you can, squeeze the elbows in and lower all the way down. Let your forehead or chin rest on the mat and lift the right leg. Point the toes, not worrying at all about height, but just lengthening the upper thigh away from center. And then release. This is boba, y'all. Switch sides. Left leg lifts, point the toes. Let your head stay relaxed. And then lower the left foot down. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Squeeze the elbows in, preparing for little cobra push-ups. So really connect to the strength of the legs. Keep your elbows bent. On an inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, lower and tap. And follow your breath. Inhale, reach the heart forward, draw the shoulders down the back. Exhale, lower down. Twice more. Inhale. Exhale, lower. One more time, inhale and hold. So reach the heart forward, draw the shoulders down the back, elbows squeeze in towards your side ribs. And then lower down and press yourself back into child's pose. Toes together, knees apart. Let your head rest. And we'll move through a slow flow, one movement per breath, exactly what we just did, but without the cobra push-ups. So follow your breath. Inhale, shoulders over the wrists. Exhale, lower all the way down. Inhale, lift the heart, cobra. And exhale back to child's pose. A few more times on your own. Full breath in, no rush at all. Full breath out. Stop it. Inhale, lift the heart. And exhale back. And we'll go a couple more times. If there's any other intuitive movement you'd like to add in, feel free to just let your movement be organic. Send the breath into any place you feel any constrictions, any stuck energy. And let the breath be the guide for the body to follow. Twice more. Good, one more time. And we'll all meet in child's pose, pausing there for a breath or two. And then make your way to hands and knees, finding tabletop pose. So before we were stacked, shoulders over wrists, but hips beyond the knees, like this. And now we want to stack shoulders over wrists, hips right above the knees as well. Then root down into the palms, lift up and out of the shoulders, and extend the right leg behind you. Flex the foot and press through the heels. So you can imagine you're making a footprint on the wall behind you. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, round, knee to nose, curl the spine and push the floor away and hold for 3, 2. Inhale, extend the right leg back out. As you exhale, cross the right leg behind the left. Tap the toes and pause. Look over your left shoulder, gazing towards the right toes, really dropping into your right hip and waistline. Good, then right leg lifts back up. And exhale, awkward airplane. Take your right leg out to the right, flex the foot. Try to keep your left arm straight. And then we'll move with the breath. Inhale, lengthen center. Exhale, round, nose to knee. Inhale, reach. Exhale, cross and tap. Inhale, lift. Exhale, open up laterally. Flex the toes towards the front of the room. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, round. Inhale, reach. Exhale, cross and tap. Inhale, lift. Leg out to the side. Lower the foot down flat. Bring your hands to your hips and rise up to gate pose. So my head's cut off, but I'm just gonna let it be. Extend the arms out. Reach the fingertips apart as you draw the shoulders down the back. Take an inhale, and then exhale, bend to the right. Left arm reaches bicep by the ear. Inhale, lift center, and switch. Left hand down, right arm overhead. And just follow your breath side to side. Full inhale, full exhale. Breathe in, breathe out. One more time, each side flowing to the right. Inhale, and to the left. Then rise back up and we'll fold over the right leg. So both hands connect to the shin, ankle, or foot. Inhale and exhale, pull. Pull your upper body over the leg. One more time, inhale, lengthen, and exhale to deepen. Good, then release, rise back up. Coming into a modified side plank. So left hand down, right arm stretches overhead, stretching the entire length of your left side body. You can stay here. You could float the leg, flexing the foot. Or additionally, you could add a quad stretch, bending the knee hand to foot, drawing your heel towards your glute. Wherever you are, roll your heart up. And if you have the foot with control, reach arm and leg apart. Lower the foot back down. Let your right arm lead the way as you rise up. Returning the hands to the floor. Right knee comes in to meet the left, finding a tabletop twist. Take your left arm out to the left and then sweep it through to the right. Left shoulder down, left ear down. And then right arm stretches overhead towards the top of the mat. If you want to deepen the twist, you can walk the right hand more to the left. If you need a modification, you can keep the right hand closer to the body. So you're essentially, eventually peeking up and under the right shoulder, or maybe just closing your eyes as you melt into the twist. Breathe in, breathe out. Then gently slide the right hand back, support the left arm out, lower the left palm to the floor to do a couple of cats and cows and neutralizing your spine. As you inhale, drop the belly, lift the heart gaze and tailbone up. As you exhale, round the spine, push the forward chin to chest, and follow your breaths. Full inhale, full exhale. Twice more. Then return through a neutral tabletop pose, preparing to switch sides. So palms glued to the mat, lift up and out of the shoulders and extend the left leg behind you. Flex the foot and press through the heel. Take an inhale and exhale, round nose to knee and hold for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, extend the left leg out. As you exhale, cross the left thigh behind the right. Tap the toes and look over the right shoulder, gazing towards the left toes. Inhale, center. Leg to the left, flex the toes towards your nose. And then we'll move with the breath. Inhale, exhale, round. Inhale, lengthen, extend. Exhale, cross and tap. Inhale, lift. Awkward airplane, left leg out to the left. One more time. Reach out long and round, nose to knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, cross and tap. Inhale, lift. Leg to the left, keeping your leg to the left. Lower the foot down and rise up for gate pose. Arms extend out like a T. Left toes face the front of the mat. Take an inhale and exhale. Bend to the right. Left arm reaches, bicep by the ear. Inhale, center, and exhale to the left. Follow your breath. Full breath in, full breath out. Inhale and exhale. You could use your block here if you needed. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, lift. And then we'll meet folding over the left leg. So both hands connect to the shin, to the ankle, to the foot. Inhale and exhale, pull. Let the inhales help you to be expansive, creating more space. And let the exhales help you to surrender into that space. Good, then rise up for modified side plank. So right hand down, left arm overhead. And repeat your variation if that is accessible. You can keep the foot flat, float the leg, or add your quad stretch, bending the knee, hand to foot, heel to glute. And if you do have the foot with control, release. Lower the left foot to the floor. Inhale, rise back up. And then lower the hands down. Draw the left knee in to meet the right knee, preparing for your tabletop twist. This time, right arm reaches out to the right and sweeps through to the left. Bicep by the ear, maybe walking the hand more over to the opposite side. If you need to modify for your shoulder for any reason, keep your left hand grounded closer to your body. Breathe in, breathe out. And then slide the left hand back, supporting the right arm out. Lower the right hand down, preparing for downward facing dog. Down dog, your hands are about shoulders width apart at the top, feet about hips distance width apart or so at the back. And just spend a little bit of movement here. Spend a little bit of time moving around. You can pedal out the legs, you can rise to the tippy toes. Drop your heels side to side. Eventually, down dog is a resting pose. It doesn't always feel that way in the beginning, so we won't be here too long, just a couple more breaths. And then nice and slowly walk your feet up to the top of the mat. When you get there, lift up halfway, gently press against the legs, the blocks, or the floor, and exhale, forward fold. Soften the knees, let your head and neck go. And we'll do that twice more. Inhale, halfway, stretch out long. Exhale, fold again. One more time, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold and hold it here. So maybe separate the feet even wider. Take an elbow in each hand, just hanging like a rag doll. Can soften the knees a little or a lot. Make sure you're not dumping weight back in the heels, right? Bring a little bit more weight forward towards your toes. And just really let go here. You can bring blocks underneath your hands for support. And just make sure you're still breathing fully, freely in through the nose and out through the nose. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. And rise, ground down, reach up. And follow your breath. Exhale, fold forward, lengthen, release head and neck. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, release. And rise, press down, reach up, look up, and exhale, fold. Follow your breaths. One more time. And rise, press down, reach up, maybe a baby back bend at the top. And exhale, hands to the heart. Close your eyes. Take a cleansing inhale. Open the mouth, let it go. Take a cleansing breath in through the nose. Open the mouth, exhale. Just feeling the effects of the practice. And then allow the eyes to open up and place the weight into the left leg. We'll find balance. Take a bend in the right knee and clasp the hands just below the knee. Flex the right toes. Draw the shoulders down the back. Reach your heart forward and really focus on your standing leg. Press that left thigh bone back. Good, then release. And switch sides, shifting the weight over into the right leg. Take a bend in the left knee, clasp the hands, flex the foot, draw the shoulders down the back, reach your heart forward, and really lengthen through the top of the head. and release. Equal standing on your feet. Deep breath in. Exhale it out. Good. Then inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Lift up halfway. Palm the mat and step back into high plank pose, finding top of a push-up. So your shoulders are directly above the elbows and wrists. You can be on your toes like we are now, or you can drop to your knees like you did in the very beginning. Please feel free to find that modification as needed. And then just as slowly as you can, squeeze the elbows in and lower all the way down. Preparing for Sphinx pose. So take your legs nice and wide apart and prop up onto your forearms, letting the elbows come just a little bit out in front of the shoulders. Maybe shake your hips a little side to side, let your legs be heavy, and we'll find some gentle neck rolls. So take your right ear to the right shoulder, stretching through the left side of the neck and throat. And lower the chin back to the chest. Switch your sides, left ear to shoulder. And return chin to chest. Just as slowly as you can, circle your head to the right, all the way around, to the left, and back to center. And when you get there, circle your head nice and slowly around to the left. When your circle's complete, let yourself make your way back into child's pose. Toes together, knees apart, let your head rest. And you can always explore different options in child's pose, bringing your knees closer together, bringing the arms down alongside the body. Just make sure you're in total rest, total surrender. Coming back to the present moment, coming back to the here and the now. And then gently draw the body up through hands and knees position, and take your right foot forward in between the hands, or rather outside of the hands, for a dragon lunge. So both hands are on the inside of your right foot, and you can toe heel the right foot a little bit more to the right, and even draw the left knee more back, giving yourself more room to release. And the invitation is to lower onto your forearms, and if the forearms don't come down easily, then grab your prop, grab your block or your book or your bolster, and let your forearms rest on the prop. Release through your head and neck for a few breaths. You can keep your right foot grounded, hugging the knee into the chest, or you can explore sickling on the blade of the foot, finding some external rotation in your hip. For those of you who have even more room, you can lower all the way down. And we'll be here a couple more breaths. You can stay exactly where you are, or you can reach back for a diagonal quadricep stretch. So the right hand would reach back for the left foot. And once the connection's made, turn your right shoulder back forward. Instead of twisting for this one, draw your body square and maybe return your forearm or your forehead to the earth as a gesture of appreciation, of gratitude to our Mother Earth, who is speaking to us so loudly right now. And if you have the foot behind you, gently with control, release, coming back up onto your palms, lifting the chest, toe heel that right foot back in towards center for a toe stretch. So tuck your back toes under and shift your hips back. Right hip, or rather left hip towards the heel. Some of you may rest hip on the heel. Your right leg stays straight out in front of you. If you want a deeper stretch, you can stay upright. You can use your blocks under your hands, or you can forward fold, which will be a little bit more release for the toes. Relax the head and neck. If you'd like to explore a little bit of balance and core strength, you can connect your hands to the right foot. Check in with the breath. Breathe in, breathe out. Then make your way back forward through a low lunge and stand up. Lift the left kneecap off the floor. Walk the hands 1/4 turn to the side of the mat. So look at your feet, all 10 toes forward, maybe slightly inward. Lift up halfway and clasp the hands behind the back. Draw the shoulders down the back. Inhale, lift the heart. Then exhale, hinge and forward fold. This is a great place to use a strap. If you need a little bit more room, you can use the strap between the hands and reach the arms overhead. Really release the head and neck. No tension there. Then release the arms down. Release your strap if you have one. Inhale, lift up halfway. Keep the left hand planted on the floor or block and peel the right arm up for a twist. It can be right hand to the hip, or you can reach the arm all the way up and look up towards your thumb. Then release and change sides. Right hand down, left arm lifts as you lengthen and twist to the left. Gazing towards your left thumb. Or me, I will gaze towards Lakshmi, who reminds us that we are so abundant in our hearts, in our spirits, in our families, in our communities. And release. Inhale, halfway lift, and then hook your big toes with your first 2 fingers. Inhale and exhale, pull, bend the elbows and pull your upper body towards the floor. If hooking your toes is inaccessible, you may grab the ankles or shins and pull. Release the head and neck fully. And then inhale, lift up halfway. Turn back to the top of the mat toward your right leg and lower the left knee back to the floor. This time preparing for a low lunge. Untuck the toes, keeping your right heel grounded. Make sure there's no space. If there is, walk your right foot a little bit more forward. Then lift the upper body. You can place the hands on blocks on your right thigh, or maybe hands to heart center, or even reach the arms overhead. You choose. But do make sure your back toes are untucked. You're sinking deeply right hip towards the heel. The more you sink down in this front right leg, the more you open up your back hip flexor. And really use the strength of your right leg, pressing down to lift up, maybe a little baby back bend. Draw the shoulders down the back. One more breath. And release. Lower the hands down and shift back, this time for half split. So straighten out your right leg once again, flex the toes. Be sure to keep the left hip stacked above the knee, so you don't want to shift the hips back for this one. Hands on the floor, blocks, and then really let your head and neck go. If you need the blocks, use them, especially if they can give you flat palms and really support you. When the palms are flat, it sends the message to the central nervous system that you're safe, that you're supported, so that you can release even more, letting go of the effort, letting go of the tension, of the contraction, of the tightening, of the controlling, and just really soften. Good, then inhale, lift up halfway. Keep your left hand grounded on the floor, maybe a block, and peel the right arm up for a twist. It can be right hand to the hip. You can float the right arm up. For those of you who are a little bit more open, especially in your right hamstring, you can take that block outside of the right leg or even the palm to the floor. Keep squeezing the thighs together and then lower the right hand down. Shift back forward through a low lunge and toe heel your right foot to the left side of the mat for pigeon. So to square your hips off here, tuck the back toes under, lift the left knee off the mat, square your left hip forward, right hip back. And if that leaves your right hip floating, slide your blanket or block underneath for support. Then untuck your back left toes, lift the heart, lengthen your spine, and then fold forward, really releasing through the head and the neck here. So there's no effort being used in your pigeon. It's a passive pose. The only thing working is some gentle, conscious breath. Notice where the thoughts are, and if they're talking, if the internal dialogue is playing out, then breathe a little bit deeper. Try to quiet the mind with your breath, with a positive affirmation. Come back to the present moment. Take a cleansing inhale, open the mouth, exhale. Then slowly, gently rise up. Pull your right heel in a little closer if you need to for a seated spinal twist. So the left leg comes up and over the right. Flatten the left foot outside of the right thigh. Sit up tall. Right hand connects to the left leg. Left arm reaches behind the back. Sit up tall. Inhale. And twist on your exhale. Let the heart lead, let the head follow. Then release the twist, unwind the legs and bring the feet to the floor in front of you for a little bit of core strengthening, Navasana boat. So the invitation is to roll the hip flesh out from underneath you. Find your Uddiyana Bandha. Bandhas are locks, and Uddiyana means flying up. So this is your belly lock. Think of your navel drawing back and up underneath the ribs like a little suction cup, but with the ability to still be able to breathe smoothly in through the nose and out through the nose. And you can start with the hands right behind your hips, fingers facing forward for support as you lean back and lift the legs. You can stay here, or you could place your palms behind the thighs, keep your spine nice and long. Or you could even play with extending the arms out, maybe straightening the legs. You might start really shaking, quaking, and quivering. Breathe into that, mostly paying attention to your long spine, heart forward, shoulders down the back for 3, 2, and release. Feet down, hands down, fingers face forward. Press down, lift up, reverse tabletop. So use the strength of the legs to lift your hips high. You can gaze up or drop the head back. And release. Have a seat. Cross the ankles in front of you, palm the mat, and step back once again into high plank pose, finding top of a push-up. Shoulders right above elbows, right above wrists. You may drop to the knees for that same modification, and just as slowly as you can, squeeze the elbows in and lower all the way down. Preparing for a shoulder opener, it's called Ekabhuja Padmasana, or one-armed lotus pose. So prop up, take the left arm across under the line of the shoulders, lower your left shoulder down, get the right arm out of the way, hook your thumb in your fist, and then bend the left elbow, bring the chin to the left wrist. Right arm relaxes down alongside the body. Soften your right shoulder toward your left elbow.
Make sure this right arm isn't on your body, right? It's just relaxed on the floor. If you want a little self-assist, you can press your right shoulder down towards the left elbow. And then release, switching your sides. So take the right arm across, thumb and fist, bend the right elbow, chin to the right wrist. Left arm comes down alongside the body. This time softening left shoulder to right elbow. And release, unwind, and press yourself back into Balasana, child's pose, hitting that reset button. Let your head, neck go. Breathe in, breathe out. And just take a moment to notice how you're feeling right here, right now. And just notice, without resistance, without judgment, without wanting anything to be any other way than it is. And then slowly transition through hands and knees, tabletop pose. Stepping your left foot forward for your dragon lunge. So place the left hand inside of the left foot. You can toe heel the left foot more over to the left. Maybe draw your right knee more back. And find your props if you'd like to use them. So you can get out of the shoulders by lowering down onto your forearms to a block, or even a bolster. And you can, again, keep that left knee hugging in or sickle on the blade of the foot, exploring that opening. Just check in and notice if there's anywhere you could release tension, anywhere you could let go even more. And then you can stay where you are or add that quad stretch if you did it before, or if you'd like to try it on this side. This time, left hand reaches back for the right foot. And if you try that, I forgot to say this last time, if you try that on the first go, it doesn't work, you can't quite get a hold of it, then start with a block under your front right hand. It will lift you up and make you longer and perhaps make that connection a bit more accessible. Then once you're connected, turn your left shoulder forward. You can stay lifted or you can return to your forearm, maybe forehead follows. And if you do have the foot, gently with control, release. Use your hands to support your way up, toe heel your left foot back towards center. Tuck your back toes under and shift back for a toe stretch. So your right hip comes towards the heel. Maybe you rest hip on the heel. You can explore staying upright, using your blocks, or folding forward. Maybe connecting hands to the left foot as an option to strengthen your core, to test your balance. And then shift back forward through a low lunge. Tuck your back toes under, stand up and pivot, quarter turn once again to the side of the mat. Inhale, lift up halfway, and we'll clasp the hands behind the back again. We have that natural grip. So switch the cross of the thumbs to balance out the arms and hands. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold deeper. Release the head, the neck. Draw the belly towards the spine. Engage your legs. Remember, you can use your strap here. And release the arms down. Inhale, lift up halfway. Walk just your right hand to the left leg. Reach the left arm up and overhead to the floor or maybe block. And then shift some weight forward, peeking up and underneath your own shoulder for a little deeper variation of a twist. And then switch sides. Left hand to right leg, right arm reaches overhead. Shift a little bit more weight out into the tops of your feet. And your right arm, as you twist, gazing under the shoulder. And release, coming back through center. Inhale, halfway. And exhale, fold, walking your hands through the legs, palms down, fingers face away from your face. Maybe head to the floor, ears in line with ankles. Inhale and exhale to fold deeper. And then release. Come back through center, quarter turn back to the top of the mat, finding a low lunge. So lower your back right knee down. Make sure your left foot is flat. And we'll lift the upper body once again. Sinking down, left hip to heel. Lift the shoulders above the hips. Hands can stay on the blocks. Maybe to your left thigh. Maybe hands to heart center. Or reach the arms up. Really use the strength of this front left leg so you're not collapsing into your lumbar spine, but pressing down to lift up, maybe reaching just a little bit belly away from the thigh. Good, then release the hands down for half split pose. Straighten out your front left leg, making sure the right hip stays stacked above the knee. Lengthen and fold forward. For those of you who have really open hamstrings, you can always slide out into a full split. That's available to you. I didn't offer it last time, but if that's in your practice and you'd like to go there, feel free. Couple more breaths, really releasing through your head and neck. Good, then lift up halfway for your twist. So right hand stays on the floor or block, left arm lifts. Maybe hand to the hip, maybe arm up. Be mindful that that hip doesn't swing way out. You want to twist from the low back by keeping your hips stable as you reach your right ribs towards the left thigh. Good, lower the hand down and shift forward through a low lunge, finding your pigeon, Ekapada Kapotasana, so toe heel your left leg across the top of the mat. Square your hips off for a traditional hatha pigeon. So tuck your back toes under, draw the kneecap off the floor, right hip forward, left hip back. If your left hip is floating, the invitation is to slide a prop under there to help protect your knee joint. And then fold forward, really releasing fully through the head and neck. Let it all go. So pigeon is one of those poses that most people really love or most people strongly dislike because it can be very intense. The hips are one of the largest areas in the body. So they become a storage house, if you will, for a lot of the things, the energetic things we store in the body. Repressed memories, negative emotions, and all of these things oftentimes get stuck in the body. So if it is fairly intense, breathe through that and be grateful for this sensation, knowing that it's likely something that you're holding on to that no longer serves you, so that in this opening, in this intensity, it's stirring up so that it can be freed, so that you can be freed of it, right? So that you can be more spacious. And within that space, you get to choose what you put in there, just like you choose what goes into a house. What furniture, what decorations, right? You choose what goes into the space you're creating within yourself. So choose love, choose trust, choose peace, choose abundance. Take another cleansing breath. Inhale, open the mouth, exhale. Then slowly draw the body up. You can pull your left heel in a little closer for a seated spinal twist. Right leg comes up and over. Sit up nice and tall. Hug the right knee with your left arm. Right arm comes behind the back. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, twist to the right. Good, then release your twist. Bringing the feet together in front of you for Baddha Konasana. This is a great place to roll the hip flesh out from underneath you as you draw the heels in towards the hips. You could also elevate the hips. If your knees are very far from the floor, a little elevation can be really helpful here to let those knees soften, to give the low back and hips more room. And grab a hold of your feet, find a lot of length, draw your belly in, and let your heart lead the way. So try not to just round into yourself, but keep your spine long, 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 extending out as you come down. Then release the head, the neck. If you prefer, you can extend the arms out. Your head can hang, or you could place a prop under your forehead for support. And slowly rise up, keeping your left leg bent. Extend the right leg out for Janushirshasana, head to knee pose. So in this particular shape, you might want to use a strap, wrapping the strap around your foot, finding a lot of length. Inhale, and then hinge and forward fold. Of course, if you don't need the strap, you can grab a hold of your foot and fold. Once again, try not to round into yourself, but keep the spine as long as possible. Instead of thinking face to the legs, consider chest to the legs, crown of the head towards the toes. And you can find baby vinyasas in your pose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, deepen. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, deepen. And then gently rise up, switching sides. Left leg extends, right leg bends. Re-rocking the hip flesh out, elevating if needed, grabbing your strap. Sit up tall, and make sure if you're using your strap, you don't pull the arm bones out of the shoulder sockets, right? You retract them back in and down, and then fold forward. For those of you who might be more open here, you can always take a block outside of the foot, or you can clasp one wrist with the opposite palm and fold. Or you can just be more passive if you like. And slowly rise up for Paschimottanasana, 2 straight legs out in front of you. And again, use your strap if you like. Otherwise, grab a hold of your toes or your feet. Find length, draw your belly back, and then fold forward. Maintaining your full breaths in through the nose and full breaths out through the nose. And then slowly rise up, reach your arms out, and nice and slowly lower all the way down to the floor. And grab your block, preparing for a supported bridge pose. So lay down with your knees bent. Lift the hips up, sliding your block on whichever level of your choosing, short, medium, or tall. I'll go with medium today. You want to place that block right under your low back. And then release the effort here. Arms extend. Your feet can stay flat, or you can extend the legs out for a little deeper opening. Close your eyes and just release all the effort. Listen to the sound of the breath. And remind yourself you have everything that you need in this moment and all moments. Take a deep breath in. Open the mouth out. If your feet are extended out, walk them back and really press down into the strength of the legs. Lift the hips, remove the block, and nice and slow, lower all the way down. And gently windshield wiper your legs side to side. And slowly, just finding some release in the back. And then hug the knees into the chest. Give yourself a squeeze. And then keep a hold of your right knee and extend the left leg out. Hug the right knee up towards your right shoulder or armpit. Encourage your left thigh to press down. Maybe find a little flexion in your left foot. And you can stay anywhere you want to stay. This is great. If you want to find a half-happy baby, you can grab the outside blade of the foot. If you'd like to extend the leg all the way up, you can. Or even find a lateral opening. Just explore here for these last few moments. Anything at all that feels good to you. And then we'll move into a supine twist. So bend your left knee and scooch the hips just a little bit over to the side. Let your right leg come across the left. Reach your right arm out and take your right ear towards the earth for a supine twist. You could always use your prop under the legs or in between the legs. Deep breath in and out. Good, release. Coming back through center. Hips back to the middle. Hug the knees into the chest. And this time, keep your left knee hugged in. Extend the right leg out. Pressing your right thigh down, flexing the foot. You can also bend the knee as a modification. And then you can stay here or explore, opening up the hip, half-happy baby. Extending the leg up, straight or out to the side, laterally. Anything goes here. Some of you flexible yogis might play with the foot behind the head. And then bring your right foot back to the floor. Scoot your hips a little over to the left and then guide the left leg across to the right for your supine twist. Gaze over the left hand or close the eyes as you release the left ear towards the earth. deep breath in. Open the mouth out. Good, then release. Come back through center, and we'll find a full happy baby, grabbing the outer blades of both feet. Maybe a little rock side to side. And then draw the knees into the chest. Lift your forehead to your knees, curling into a tight little ball. Breathing for 3, 2, and release for shavasana. The invitation is to grab your bolster and place it under the knees. It's just a nice way to support the low back. And then lay down. Extend the arms out, palms up. Release all the effort, including any effort in the breath. Total surrender. Total letting go. Shavasana. Allow your breath to deepen. Finding some movements, wiggling the fingers, wiggling the toes, rotating the wrists, the ankles. Eventually taking a big stretch, reaching the arms, pointing the toes.
And hug the knees into the chest, giving yourself a final squeeze. And rock your way up to seated. To close the practice, sit up nice and tall, hands at heart center, bow your head toward yourself in honor and gratitude and appreciation for this time on your mat today, for the ability to move and breathe and connect more deeply with your heart, with your body, with your breath, with your soul, your spirit, and to have this practice to come back to return to center, to connect with that inner peace that's always available to you. Thank you all so much for joining and watching this video, my first yoga video in the Goddess Room. It's been truly an honor to guide you through your practice. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste.